Hello scrappers, today I'll be scrapping some electronic scrap. Start with some power supplies. That's all the screws. Just pop apart here. Oh, missed one. There's a tin bucket. Screw here somewhere. There, nearly have it. Yeah. Pretty good. That should be straightforward now. Yeah, maybe not. Let's see what's going on here. There we go. Usually these fans, you just clip the wires off of them, and then you just, they basically, some scrap yards just take them as ballast, and then you got some coated wire. Definitely the ones I take them to, they just pay a crappy price for those. This is power board. Most places will buy these. Place I sell them to, and they don't matter what color the boards are. Okay then. Very interesting. Oh. Just holding the fan in, I guess. That should be fine. Maybe it is. Cool. That was easy. Now on these I will cut the gold fingers off because it doesn't matter, it won't downgrade the power boards. Oh. A lot of these are going to be repeats. Seriously. Shake your screws around, sometimes they won't stick to the bit. Shake it while you unscrew it. Sometimes these higher RPM fans are worth keeping. This one is definitely not one I'm going to keep. I got plenty of them. I'm getting all those coated wires worth it. fingers so it doesn't fit well. Nope. That's fine. Just break down. Of course, this one's difficult. Oh, you stubborn bastard. There we go. Okay. Another one with gold fingers. Sweet. All of other gold fingered hardboards get trimmed. Okay, that's a different one here. I also got a crap ton of these power supplies other than this, but I'm just doing this many for the video. I don't think you guys want to watch crap tons of it. Screws, good to go. Just one somewhere in here. I hate when they hide them like that. Yeah, I didn't think so. It's probably just one There we go. Fingers in this. Stuff off. Now the place I sell my power boards to, they give me like 65 cents a pound. Definitely differs between where you go. Regular scrapyards might just buy them as like low grade power board, like 30 cents probably. I buy all my stuff from scrapyards most of the time, so I'm selling to board buyers and stuff. One of my go-to is Esco. They seem to pay okay prices. Board sort would be your better shot. They pay better, but the shipping kind of sucks, so. But whoever you have is more local is always better. A little easier. All the higher end stuff that's not too heavy, like RAM or CPUs or something, I'll just send them to board sort. All the stuff that ain't worth shipping, I just take to Esco. fingers here. That's why it's smashed in the front. Alright. There we go. That one with gold fingers. A little bit of copper to take off too. Yeah, any of the easy copper you can get, I always take it off. Adds up after a while. Okay. No, I'll try the thimble first. It's already open for me. How convenient. Bad. There's quite a bit of copper in that one. Cool. Oh, a lot of easy coppers. Sweet. Get that later. Yeah, I always go for easy copper. Put that over there with gold fingers for the second. Why is that? No, that's fine. There we go. Motor. Well, ballast basically. And entry. Man, I'm liking these with all the gold fingers. I expect to get that many. You know, it's my first time doing a scrap video. It's probably not going to be the best, but I was trying to get out there to see if anybody cares. It's just a test video to put on YouTube and see how it goes. Screw somewhere. Nope. There it goes. It's a big dent in it. That's probably why. Alright. Plastic motor. Hopefully with this YouTube stuff I can tear up some better stuff that might get some cooler boards, because I usually get avionics and stuff and tear those apart, so they're getting a little bit more rare nowadays, but probably should have started YouTube quite a while back. Maybe pass some knowledge on as well for anybody's beginning to be a scrapper. Because I've been doing this stuff for years. There's a screw. Yeah. Still not budging. Must be stuck. Ah, I see what they did there. A sticker. Yep. Cheeky. Alright. Oh, this is one of those double boarded ones. I see. hoping I'm to improve better too, because I know doing this video is probably not going to be the best, but that's worth figuring it out. I know I could do stuff better, but no one's ever going to do perfect on the first one. You know, my first actual video was just short, but I don't really count that one. That was me when I was using my bandsaw to cut transformers, because where usually I like to go with, but the electronic scrap's pretty good too. Copper's a lot easier than messing with electronic scrap because there's so many categories. Lots to learn. I'm still learning stuff even though I've been doing scrap for a long time. How to categorize and all that other stuff. I'll maybe be able to pass that on too. But I'll just start out with the basics of this random stuff. Now we're finally getting down to the good stuff. This will be the last power supply for computers. I think there's a couple solar power supplies. Doing at the end. I get so many of these. I get them from the scrapyard. I also buy computer scrap as well. That's one reason why I got boards that I'll show some at the end. Some categorizations that I do. But yeah, I also buy ceramic CPUs just like anybody else. I try to be competitive with big hole places that pay. I can't come close to board solder, but if I get a little under it, it'll be okay. I'm deciding if I want to process the ceramic chips for the gold or just leave it on the board solder and then make my profit off of it. Not sure yet. Love to get a piece of property somewhere and start that. But to get the gold's also money, so it's like, which one's smarter? So I'm just keeping all the ceramic CPUs and stuff that I have at the moment. Yeah, these are the most annoying power supplies because cut all the wire off of them. That's fine. Cutted wire. Tin tray, plastic fan. Yeah, it's not even worth busting the plastic because even if I bust most of the plastic off, they still buy it as like ballast at the scrapyard. So I just leave them whole as they are. They told me it didn't matter. Everywhere else might be different, but at least here, pretty reasonable stuff. Power board, and these little things have a lot of aluminum. I don't think I have a bit of drill, so we'll just have to use these. This will probably do. together. Yeah, I got another tote of stuff over there. I'm just keeping it out of the way at the moment until I get all this stuff taken apart. I try to have some interesting stuff to tear up so everyone sees different stuff. Oh, look at that. Oh, that is just hilarious. Freaking porno CD. You gotta be kidding me with that. That's the only thing that's weird about Scrap. You don't know what the people were doing to these electronics before they just tossed them. Wow. Yeah, I can't get surprised anymore by this stuff. Anyways, on these, I always keep these separate so I can cut the gold trim off the ends and I put them in their own little container. So I'll put them with boards, and then these little boards, sometimes they'll count as CD-ROM board. I'm not sure on some of these. It just depends. I'll have to check with board sort, because if they don't, then I'll just throw them in with low-grade boards. But, yeah. This is just a little bit of aluminum. See if we find more ridiculous CDs in some of this stuff. That's gonna be a mystery game now. Oh yeah, an empty one. Okay with that. Tear up the cases, then we'll get to these after. Yeah, an electric motor here. Pure electric motor. I'll just stick it right here. Get some out. A little coated wire. Yeah, some of these drives are quite a bit different. Sometimes all the main board will be on these and these plates, and sometimes it just have the bare minimum on those. Actually some gold stuff there, that's good. I'll just rip that off, put it over here. So gold trim stuff adds up pretty quick. I got quite a bit of that stuff. Now on certain boards, it's worth more just leaving the gold trim on than trying to cut it off. The power boards, it ain't gonna matter, because they just accept them as power boards. They're not going to upgrade them. So that's why I'm okay with doing that to those. And the wire, they don't. They'll buy like the ends, at least Board Sort will. There's a separate category. I don't know. I've never actually tried selling them any. So, as far as I can tell, they're a lower class. But these would be worth, you know, getting some acid and removing the gold probably at some point, but I don't know, so I'm just going to save them until I decide what to do. Like this one's got the board I got to classify to see if they put them in the CD-ROM or low grade, mid grade. Pretty sure that'd be a CD-ROM board. Yeah, do that later. Yeah, I also got crap tons of these as well. I'm just doing enough for this video here. Someone I don't think wants to watch a million things over and over. That's the only thing about scrap. It's always repetitive most of the time. Sometimes you come across something that'll surprise you. Like the CD there. Gold. Yep. Now, sometimes these will come out and they'll look silverish. I just throw them in coated wire if they do. The gold stuff's the only thing I'm after. I guess in the comments you can tell me if you want me to try doing a video with using my bandsaw or chop transformers, because I'm getting a little bit of them built up, so make curious for that. or just enjoy watching my videos just to pass the time. You know, I've done that before. So I'll see how much attention this gets and I'll go from there. This one's going to be stubborn. Come on, there we go. Yeah, see, that's that silver type there. Yeah, this is coated wire. Low grade coated wire, different grades. Got a bit of aluminum maybe. Get to these and then get to the other interesting stuff. Sometimes those will be steel, but majority of the time most of the drives will be aluminum. Yeah, it does not want to come out. There it goes. And sometimes these screws strip out super easy. So is that rod actually brass? Huh, it actually is. Let's put it up there. Sometimes these things impress me, even though I've tore up hundreds of these, maybe even thousands, over the years. Get that little electric motor out. Great. Okay, now let's do this one then. There we go. That's what I wanted to stick it. It's small. No more electric motor stuff. I'm going to trim it. These things are pretty interesting. Quite a bit of aluminum out of them if you tear up enough of them. Yeah, let's see here. Motor should just come off. That's interesting. Oh yeah, that's in the middle. Yeah, these kind of electric motors, you need a hammer mill to get all the copper out of them. It's good wire. Just got gold on the end of it. Nope. That one doesn't either. Damn. Sometimes they'll cheapen out on these. Sometimes they won't. Now the eyes, I just put them in an electric motor because there is a little bit of copper. Sometimes they'll be cast aluminum. But I always just throw them in an electric motor. And a tinier bit. Let's see. Which one can use for that? This one. Yeah, these little electric motors always add up. Always get good yield out of those. Okay. Probably just break that out. Yep. This is stainless steel. Oh, actually it is. Alright. Oh, that one is too. Typically these are never stainless steel. I'm impressed today. Electric motor. There. There it goes. Yep. That's Yep. Alright. blocking the view too much. That's bold. Nope, ammunition doesn't. That's sad. March modes is stainless steel. Oh, there she is. Sweet. Liking today, usually I don't get stainless steel that much out of these anymore. Kind of impressed. Alright. There it goes. And there's a little bit of aluminum on here. Nothing of that. Check, make sure if it's counting steel. It's aluminum. So always gotta check it, just in case. Should just pop off. Just a little bit of tension, a bit of loose. Alright. Bit of copper transformer here. Something to break apart. Sometimes if these are big enough, I'll rip them and pull the copper coils out, but that's kind of small, so sometimes it's worth leaving this electric motor. Stainless steel. Nope. Electric motor. Yeah, these things get pretty repetitive. Turned out. Screws. And see, I don't know how long this video's been going on so far. Not even an hour yet. Might go ahead and tear up those other things and call it there. Let's put a motor here. Tiny little piece of copper. Oh, there it is. Alright. Electric motor. Yep. Motor. Now, since plastic, I'll still throw it in there. So are these actually stainless steel, or are they just reverse steel? Heck yeah. Sometimes these, yeah, that's too much ferrous. There's too much ferrous in these. The scrapyard won't take it. They basically want nothing, no stick at all. They're stainless. Well, that's fine. Yeah. There. Let's done with these so I can get to the fun stuff. Hope no one cares this video is getting kind of long. was figuring it was going to go about maybe an hour, hour and a half. Let's see. Some people might like it going long. More time to. I think if I keep doing this, I'll probably make them a little shorter, not as long. I'm saying what the heck for today. Is there any gold in that? Yeah, there's gold in that one. Pull that off and put that there. And this one's actually all built together. So. There we go. Mostly plastic. Steel. Ooh, just barely. I might be able to let those pass. Alright, so electric motor. Could throw those the cast ones, but that's too much motor because there's other steel and crap in those. Yeah. Just wanted to get on to the last bit of stuff. Yeah, this is the one where the board's built into the tray itself. Cool, that is easy. Alright. Go on that. CD-ROM drive board, possibly. Gotta check with board sort, but I'm pretty sure they'll let me throw that in there. There's more gold, so I'm definitely gonna rip those off and put them in that pile, so I come up later. There. Okay. Had a good amount of gold trim stuff saved up, even with the ribbon cables and the fiberboard ones. They add up pretty quick. But a lot of stuff you should just leave the gold fingers on. A lot of times when I buy stuff from people, they'll have the gold fingers already separated, and I tell them it's worth more leaving them on the board. There we go. These are a little rusted. Come on. There we go. Alright, tin shred. And electric motor. Let's see, these are stainless steel. I'd be surprised if they are. Oop, nope, 100% steel. Alright, now we can get to the more interesting stuff. Let's check these real quick. Oh. Bunch of tin shred, a little bit of wire. Separate those real quick in that pile. That's the only thing fun about scraps. Fun to tear it up. Sucks to clean it up. But it's worth it. Then I'll come by with a magnet and I'll just put in most of it. So it's not such a mess. All this stuff real quick. Drag that tool in here. with the scrap stuff, if anybody ever has any questions, I'll try to help you out the best I can. Kind of what I'm hoping to do with this, as much as having fun stuff up, is also people how to this side. Alright, so we're gonna start with this. I do retest and resell stuff, but this is dead. So it's gonna get scrapped out. The place I get these from, they'll say it's untested. I'll come in and I'll check it again, and then a lot of times they just give free stuff away. A lot of times it's fine. They just didn't want to test it the right way or something like that. Okay. But there's a couple things I haven't tested yet, and that's why they're not being scrapped out today. Plus this video is already getting extremely long, so. But kind of a thing for the future there. So these transformers might be ones I'll pull the copper out of, and I just don't an electric motor. So they're too small, and the coils are not big enough. I'll just throw them an electric motor. Sometimes I save transformers for projects, but I already got so many types of these that it's overkill to keep more of them. Sometimes they'll put nuts behind these, and you have to get pliers and then try to unscrew all that stuff. Are these crackable? Okay, so these transformers will have welds on it. If I pop all this cladding here off, and I can crack this weld, I'll keep these for pulling the copper out, because these are easy transformers. If they got the welds going across where you just pop the top off, pop the steel core out, those are always worth it. So I'm not always having to cut them. So these I would typically pass as electric motor instead of trying to pull the copper out of them. But then crack them, and then my scrapyard I have to take all the plastic off, so I'll have to smash the coil, pull most of the plastic, and that's fine. Sometimes I can leave the tape on, but other than that, they want most of that off. So something to keep the note of. Snip the cords off here. Sometimes they'll just let you pull the wires forward. Sometimes. There it goes. Alright. Yeah, so I try not to scrap everything, but some things are just not repairable. I've actually come across these when I was younger, and they were quite fun to use as amplifiers, because this is one, but it's just mono. Which is not the best, but it was free when I got it, and it was cool. Sadly, I sold that thing like a long time ago. Should have just kept it. Because all it has like boards like these you can bypass, and for like intercom crap and stuff. So I think the rest of the shit is coming out, I think. Maybe after I cut those. Typically these brown boards ain't worth trying to keep. I'll just let it stay on here in tin shred. I'll just take the little copper thing off here. Throw it in the copper bucket. pretty straightforward. They got connections like this, so that makes it a little easier. Huh. Usually I have to cut most of these. That's kind of nice. That's pretty quick. So this is what usually an easy day looks like. Except it cooperates. Not too difficult. Huh. Heck yeah. So after I get all this, I might try to take this aluminum piece off. Come on. There we go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Easy scrap. There, get all these screws out of the way. Sweet. This is stainless steel. That's steel. Alright. Come on. Actually, that's clean. If I do a loose one, I could probably just pull most of it and finish pulling the screws out. Oh, the aluminum actually goes through the whole thing. Huh. Oh, design. Yeah, look at that crap. I've never seen that where it's the frame is aluminum holding the board. I'll just put it in here. That's kind of neat. Very odd, but neat. A little sheet. I believe the front is extruded. So, get that little bit of stuff in, and this will be that sheet. Because the scrap here, I don't really pay a whole lot for them. It doesn't matter if it's clean or clean. I pay the same for it. I believe these cards got gold fingers. Oh, there we go. Out. Yep, I got a little bit of gold finger, so I'll put them in here to get cleaned up later. Because these boards, they're basically no grade with a little bit of gold, so I might as well get them off. This is another category I would be okay with ripping the gold fingers off and not leaving them on. And so that's just tincture. I love that. Alright. Huh. I got that a bit sweet. Use the magnet to pull that out. Come on. There we go. Let's get these suckers torn down. Not sure what board sort would classify this board as because I haven't asked yet. But I'm just going to throw them in low grade at the moment, but let me look at a sheet. Yeah. It's no grade board. Garbage. Oh, I forgot to pull the extruded front piece off that. Got ahead of myself there. And we'll take that into oh, my camera's not pulling it back out. Alright. I shouldn't switch this back around. shouldn't be too crazy to pull the extruded off. It's not just pop off. Hate having to scrap stuff like this because this looked like it was a nice unit until it got busted. But there it goes, which is nice. They didn't put any bolts on these, so this piece of extrude is free. Let's take these couple screws out. Usually they'll have it where the bolts are on the front here. Oh, it's a third screw in here. Yeah. Alright, well, that was pretty easy. It's very thin extruded, but that counts. Alright, now that's scrap trash. Actually, sometimes these here are worth getting the copper. Usually with these, you could just go outside and maybe find an anvil and just smash some. These got pretty good sized pieces of copper in them. These I'll consider worth popping off. Now that one's not, that's just a rectifier. So yeah, but I'll save these in my breakdown bin for later. Alright. More of these. These are pretty repetitive. Guessing this car had a lot of problems with this part because there's so many of these. Like they've been replaced. Ever a Subaru. It's a piece of junk. Alright. Oh, not a bad board though. Alright. More of these. Crap ton of them. I don't know how long the video's been going on now. 1 hour and 10 minutes. Not too bad. Try to keep it under 2 hours. Let's pop that off. Got a bit of aluminum out of these, I'm not gonna lie. Pulled it apart earlier. Just a nice piece of cast. Set that up there for now, get it out of the way. Holy crap, I got like 1,000 more of these. I forgot how many I had in here. Oh, this one's just a plastic one, that should be pretty simple. Use the snips, or we could just use the screwdriver. Actually, remember. Come on. Oops. Nope. Got it. Yeah, it's an okay grade board. Not the best. But I like it when I don't have to unscrew anything, so I'll take it. It's low grade. Alright, the GoPro got hot and shut off, so I don't know what footage was captured and what was not, but I'm just going to try to finish this up. I might make it a second parter since it's already probably over an hour from the first video. But just finish this up. Hopefully this will go smoothly. Let's go ahead and take the screws out of these. Pop all these apart. I'm just going to throw the plastic back in the thing I pulled them out of. Okay, so here's what the boards have been coming out of those look like. Nothing too fancy. So just rip them off bare hands. Yeah. That was actually holding on there pretty well. Alright. So, that one came off no problem. Alright. Don't think anybody's ever seen one of these taken apart before. Let's see. Cannot tell these are. Nope. I might have to do this one by hand, which is fine. Let's switch this again. It's probably the right size. Yep. Yeah, I just gotta keep a better eye on my GoPro, so let's see if it shuts off again, because I didn't know it went off until I just looked back at it and didn't see the red light blinking. That's something I'll have to get used to. Hopefully someday I'll upgrade to a better camera, but it's worth starting out with. Okay. Panel here. Yep. A lot of screws. Alright. I don't know if this needs to come out, but screwdriver. There we go. I don't think these need to come out. I'm just doing this one just in case. There's the screw. I'll try to hide those. Alright. It should just come apart. Yep, it does. So that's what's inside one of those card readers. Tiny little board like this. Stuff with a little bit of gold on it. I like the gold. Yep. Go there for later processing. Pull out the plastic. This will probably just be a low grade board. Nothing too fancy about it, but that's what's in a card reader when you go pay for something. These I'll just rip the gold tabs off and then I'll just throw this in tin shred because it's not worth pulling that little board out. That's way too much work for it. Or what it's got in. I think a couple more of these and then I might be able to just wrap up the video. This is stuff I gotta finish processing. Double transport and the wire. So I think I got a couple more things to tear up. See how long the video lasts this time. I'm going to do this with hand. I don't have any bits for these. From the power drill over there. I do believe we should just do part now. There we go. Same grade board. Nothing too crazy. Same thing as we did earlier. Huh. Cool. Not too bad. Second end. Last one of these. think the rest of our screws power on. That's almost the stubborn one. Gotcha. Okay. There we go. As before. No difference this time. But it's falling apart now. Another same low grade board. And the gold. Oh, that's for your wireless part. I think it is. Nope, no gold, it's all silver. Cool. Now we get on to the part I wanted to get to before the GoPro got too hot. I need to go back to that. It's out of a solar system. Like for power. Let's see. Yeah, manufactured in California. Don't believe that. Let's see. Yeah, grid support. Yeah. Interactive inverter. Yeah, that makes sense now. 56 volts, 282 volts, 720 watts. It's not super impressive, but for what this probably was in a system a long time ago, probably got way better versions. Let's see. Oh, stainless steel. Yeah, usually if I come across stainless steel hardware like this, I'll try to make a little bend because this stuff ain't cheap. You gotta buy it new. So I'm gonna save all these. I got something I can put this in. Let's make a pile up here. Yeah, good, right. Like saving stainless hardware. Actually, didn't tear it up. Yeah, this thing's gonna be a pain in the butt to do because there's so many screws in these things. Screws in this way. Jeez Louise. Crazy. I don't know if there's anything on that side, but I guess we'll find out. Pain this will be to open, and maybe not much. also just comes apart real easy. Oh shit. Looks like that wish was answered. That means the rest of it should just slide out the end of it. Or not. There it goes. Oh wow. There's a lot of stuff on here. I don't know what this board would be graded as. 600 volt DC. These coils might be worth smashing off, but I'll have to see what boards are graded at first before I go destroying them. That'll be something to do later. But I like it because all the wire comes off easy, so the rest of these I got, which I got a lot of them, will be quite a bit easier to do. These look like these will just be easy to take all the wire out, but yeah, not bad. Alright. A little bit of extruded. A lot of paper in here. Pull that out real quick. But yeah, a little bit of painted extruded. Still get pretty good money for these. So, all right. Hopefully the rest of them are all the same. Yeah, that's a pretty cool little board though. Not sure what these are. Oh, these are capacitors. Jeez, I might save me some of these. These look expensive. I guess that'll be something to think about. Alright, let's get the rest of these up so I can finish this up. Oh, look at these, man. The screws didn't get stuck. Come on, let go. All right. Come on. Side screws out. So let's screw to these heat sinks on the side, yeah. Alright, let's get this done. Come on. Handful of those started. Alright, extruded. There it goes. Alright, these aren't going too bad at all. Well, trying to not super loud. Alright, next one. Gotta finish these and I'll call the video. Seeing all the stuff rattling, this one must have blown up. Actually, does this one say bad on it? No. Other ones do, but not this one. 17 minutes. Not going as fast. Alright. Just choose this. Yep. Cool. That was so much easier. Alright. Spinning. Snap it off. There we go. That's okay. Goes. Yes. Huh. Ooh, yeah. Something bad did happen to that one. It smells like burnt electronic, even though it's been that long ago. But this one had a catastrophic failure. That might have been why they just replaced it. They couldn't find which one was bad, so they just changed them all, which probably wasn't a bad idea. Damn, that's the worst solar panel board I've ever seen. Wonder if water could have gotten there and caused that to happen. Damn. The worst one yet. And that one wasn't even marked bad. All the other ones were marked bad. So that's funny. Burnt the protective paper for the aluminum. That's insane. It's the first time I've seen that. See, is this one right on? Ooh, this one might have the same issue. Let's see. That'd be kind of interesting. This one isn't marked as bad either. Alright. Okay, so far this side isn't parked up. Huh. That one didn't come out all the way. There it goes. Alright. Yep. Same thing happened to this one. It didn't do as bad as the other one, but same failure. Got hot and burnt that board up pretty good. So the ones that were marked bad didn't have any damage and they looked like they had newer parts. So that's very interesting. I guess they just said screw it, just change them all because they couldn't find where the failure points were. Yeah, that's not as bad as the first one, but still pretty bad. Oh yeah, there's that paper's gotta be removed. And yep, that one was burned as well. Not too bad though. Alright, so that's all the scrap for today. For the first video, I'm gonna probably make a two-parter. So that first one's already too long anyways. Bring some examples, some of the stuff I pull out of things sometimes. Like for example, I tear up some stuff that I get boards like this out of. That's when I should have started doing videos, but you know, we'll see what happens later on in the future. And I come across stuff like this. You know, you get silver RAM, you know, chips and stuff like that. There's some like gold chips somewhere in here. I got the bottom corner. I ain't gonna dig them out right now, but yeah. Bunch of stuff like that. Stuff that I need to treat with some nitric acid and stuff and see how much silver and gold I can get out of this. You know, this is plans for the future. Nothing crazy. I've even pulled some of this stuff out of scrapping stuff before. But if you ever have any suggestions of anything that you might want to see get tore up and see if there's anything interesting in it, mention that in the comments or something. Yeah, I got a bunch of hard drives and stuff, and some other things I want to tear up, but I don't know if I want to make a video out of it. You can either tell me in the comments if you'd be interested in me tearing up some of that stuff. But, or the transformers for the bandsaw. Now, this is one thing that, you know, some people might get discouraged if you come across it, but you cut like, you know, copper transformers, and I use this as an example because I always test them, but I did this for example so you can see that sometimes you could be fooled. Now, sometimes these are half and half, where they're half aluminum, half copper. This one is just, these are out of battery backups. You gotta watch the battery backups. Typically any other power supplies that have transformers like this, usually fine. You cut it, you get what you want out of it. So, these, it's always good to check where the wires, I already cut the side over the wires, but where the windings are, or you could just take it and scratch across it. But the best thing to do is see if it's half and half. Is check by all the winding pieces where the wires are going into the transformer. You work the tape up. Maybe it might break the plastic, but you just scar them. And if it shows aluminum, you know, and then you just have that, and it's this. But yeah, this isn't worth that. At the scrapyard, they give you like, I think they give you ballast for these. I can't remember, or I think they give you short iron maybe for these with a little extra. I don't remember, because usually whenever I take them, I throw these in with a couple transformers that are too small for me to bandsaw. So this is something to watch out for. Don't get discouraged just because you hit one of these. Every now and then that'll happen. I've even missed some of them where I hit it, and this was just a test piece to show what I mean about crappy aluminum being used and stuff. It's only the battery backup transformers I've ever seen these kind of transformers in. But yeah, it's kind of why I want to start spreading some knowledge so people can understand, you know, what to look out for when you're starting this kind of stuff. But yeah, if anybody wants me to tear up the hard drives on video and maybe some other things, there's a place that got free stuff. I'll go pick it up, and sometimes there's some interesting stuff. Or if you have suggestions of stuff you want me to tear up, possibly, I could try to see if I can find anything that might be interesting. But I guess I'm gonna end the video here and clean up this mess and finish scrapping all the same stuff already. But I got a lot more of these solar things. I'm probably gonna find a lot more of these burn marks stuff. These capacitors look kind of interesting. 50 UF at 600 volts. These are pretty intense for this kind of thing, which makes sense. But yeah, it's cool to see failure rates. Like, I always like finding these little like failure points and stuff. shows you how bad electronics can go. But alright, I'm gonna call it the end of the video and maybe make another video later on the hard drives possibly. Yeah, have a good one.